Join us on the journey this week as we wrap up our last day in South Dakota. What a unique little town. I'm glad that we came down. This would be an interesting way to die. To go do a very Nebraska thing in Nebraska. Ah! But not before our campground situation fell apart.
Joy.
I'm pretty angry right now. I need a minute. I told him I'm very frustrated. After our adventure, we were put back on the road unexpectedly and ended up in a different town than we originally planned.
Our 4-hour drive day turned into over a 7-hour drive day and about 400 miles.
Well, it has turned into a 12.5-hour travel day altogether. Welcome back. We'd love to chat, but we gotta hit the road. One of the reasons why you tug test is to make sure your cord is hooked up sufficiently. I thought I had it secured when he did his tug test.
No brakes.
He realized he didn't have brakes.
When you get out, you see there's no lights on and you put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, easy fix, but better to find out now than on the road.
Tires, lights, tug test, every time.
It never seems like it's enough time in South Dakota, but it's time to go on to the next adventure, which I'm excited about as well.
We're on a little bit of a deadline today. Our next adventure is actually by appointment, and it's at 2 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock now, and we got a 4-hour drive, so hopefully no trouble. We should only have to stop for fuel once and roll in just in time.
We tried to capitalize on our last stay here. At this point, we have started up around the Spearfish Deadwood area. We've explored all down through, and this is probably the most southern point that we've reached.
Yeah.
Did not know this existed, but we had a few viewers mention it. We thought we'd check it out.
It's actually the city of Hot Springs, South Dakota.
What's cool about this town, similar to Hot Springs, Arkansas, that we're very familiar with. Shh.
There's a lot of construction.
There is a lot of construction here going on right at the moment. But what's cool about it is it has a lot of natural hot springs here. Some are pay, some are free. We're gonna get our bearings. We're gonna check a little bit of the area out and see what we wanna do from here.
It feels warm from here.
It kind of does. What's the consensus? Is it hot?
I wouldn't say it's hot, but it's warm. What's the consensus on that?
It's warm.
But
it's warm, like it's probably 80s, high 80s. So it's not hot. The cool thing about the Fall River here is that it's one of the easier things to find because it's right off of this little park, Centennial Park, and it runs all throughout the city. So you're kind of following it. But it's warm, and it says that you can find deeper areas and soak in. So I'm going to assume that it's just a lower temp, like some of the hot springs. You find some higher temp locations, but it definitely has something flowing into it that's warm. It's drinking water?
Well, it says you can drink it at your own risk. Now that's warm. That's probably high 80s, low 90s.
Yeah, that's about what the river is. Feels
Interesting.
Good.
Useful in the treatment of chronic diseases of the gastrointestinal tract, diseases of the liver and biliary passages, disorders of the urinary tract, and sluggish conditions of the alimentary tract. Total solids 1174.64, whatever that means.
Whatever measurement that is.
Whatever measurement that is.
This is based on absolutely no research. But when we go to these places and see the signs like Hot Springs, Arkansas, or here where it talks about all these ailments, people swore that it cured all this stuff.
And came from all over
It makes you wonder if maybe there was some vitamin deficiencies during that time and it actually did help
make them feel better.
I don't know. That's about all the research I'm going to do is me.
That's just you thinking out loud,
me
basically.
thinking out loud. What a unique little town. I'm glad that we came down.
Yeah, this is cool.
Man, those are some steep steps.
Yeah, I do not recommend.
We are sad to leave South Dakota. We love it. I think we've made that very clear.
And we very seldom stay in one region for that long. We're usually on the move a lot quicker than this.
I believe that we could stay another month
or two
and still stay busy. There's so much to do around here.
And the comeback list grows. We've talked about our comeback list of when we come back here.
Yeah.
Every time we come here, we think we're checking stuff off, but we just add to it every time, I swear.
Yeah.
But we're on our way now to go do something really cool in a place you might not expect.
Hot Springs is close to Wind Cave National Park. They have a mammoth museum where you can see old fossils. We have no itinerary for today.
Nope, we're winging it today. We haven't done that in a while, and I kind of like it.
It's kind of nice. Oh, aren't you just so sweet? What's her name?
Daisy.
Daisy.
Smile, Daisy.
Aww.
Big smile. Yeah,
she looks so big.
We'll try to put all the links of things that we've done and places we've been in the description. So hopefully that gives you a little inspiration to plan your South Dakota trip. A little too much food, no?
I'm so very full. We should have both split a plate.
It's a little much.
We just had a lunch at the MERC taproom. Beautiful place. Even their bathrooms
I didn't go in there.
Were beautiful.
The food was incredible.
We had a really good server, Tana, and she is from here, told us some really hilarious stories, but we also agreed that South Dakota, this side of South Dakota at least, is very much like where we grew up, where you don't really have to worry about things and worry about people breaking into your car.
Crime's not really an issue. Getting your car broke into is not really a problem.
And let's be honest, that impacts your experience of coming to a place.
Yeah, if you're walking around with your hand on your wallet the whole time, you don't enjoy it quite as much.
It's true. But she also gave us a recommendation of something unique, and we're gonna go check it out.
So on the recommendation of our waitress at the restaurant, we came down here to Pringle, South Dakota, where they're supposed to have a bicycle sculpture.
Where bikes come to die.
Oh, it has a tunnel.
This would be an interesting way to die.
I mean, if you came running through here, you could impale yourself on a broken bicycle part.
Well, if that fell on you,
yeah.
At least it would be a good story. I mean, who wants to die with a dumb story like falling down the stairs? Which is what I'm convinced is going to happen to me.
Oh, how do we get through here?
I hope this is set up like this and it didn't fall.
Well, don't bump into anything or you might fall with it. Oh my goodness. What do they think, I'm a gymnast?
Oh, don't hit it, don't hit it.
Am I clear?
You're clear.
Okay.
Now it's time to head back. We have a little preparation to do for our travel day tomorrow.
We gotta leave early tomorrow.
Early tomorrow.
No laying around tomorrow morning. Coffee and Facebook time.
I know we missed out on meeting up with a few people while we were here. The timing just wasn't there. But we did meet with Dave and Chris. Dave and Chris were very interesting. They've been on the road full-time for a pretty long time. This is their second round.
Yeah, I think they did a 7-year stint and now they're back out again. They've had a lot of interesting on-the-road jobs while they've been RVing.
Yeah.
I mean, the stories were just crazy on some of them.
I'm thinking we need to go follow them around for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we'll caravan with them for a while. They won't mind. been a really uneventful travel day, about 250-ish mile, yeah, 250 miles. I think I've seen more trains than I have other cars. I've seen like 2 RVs, few vehicles, and trains. And I'm really curious, like, where you're gonna go get groceries and stuff like that. There's not much out here.
Town of Mullen, Nebraska, 491 people. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure what to expect here. When I called, it was a very casual, they wrote my name down type of thing. No, I'm not really sure what to expect.
I see an RV back here.
GLIDDEN canoe rental on the left.
I guess this is a motel of sorts. I know we haven't had good luck with that in the past. We have once.
Once, yeah.
All right, let me go see what this is all about.
All right. Staying at campgrounds that are part of hotels, as Angela mentioned, are sometimes hit and miss. We've had one work out okay. This one, the GPS led us to what we thought was the place. Guy comes out, he's like, yeah, this isn't the place. She's in the office, and I see her standing outside talking to somebody. Looks like they're pointing in different directions, so looks like we're not at the right place. And normally it wouldn't be a big deal, but we've got an hour and a half to get there, get set up, because we have tickets bought for a certain thing we're gonna do. We're really excited to show you guys, and we are burning daylight. So hopefully we get this figured out here pretty quick. Looks like he's attempting to give direction, and she just texted me and said, this is a cluster. Oh boy, here he comes. We're 85 miles from a Walmart. Oh, this looks like a joy.
I'm pretty angry right now. I need a minute. He's gonna let us back in here, and it's full hookup, kind of, with the exception of some water issues. This isn't his problem. He's actually helping us because there's a lot of confusion. I told him I'm very frustrated. Apparently there's two, these are all separate entities. And so one person's sending me to one person sending me back to that person, who's sending me back to that person, and I'm like...
Have we already paid for these tickets?
No, but hang tight.
Okay.
We're gonna back in.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about this water situation, which may or may not be a problem. And we're gonna determine how many days we wanna stay here. I'm so frustrated I'm ready to bail on the whole thing, but I don't want to give up on it.
Well, let's just hurry up and drop.
Let's click this off for a second and talk. So GLIDDEN Canoe Rental and Hotel, the couple that runs it, this wasn't their mistake. It's not who I spoke with.
Nice people.
And it wasn't the confusion. They're actually going above and beyond to help us out. Doesn't feel like an unsafe place. We're gonna drop here. They're gonna let us park here, run some fans for the dogs. That way they're comfortable while we're gone. We're gonna go over and take care of this, the reason we came here.
The only reason we came to this area.
We're gonna reset.
We think we're probably gonna do our adventure and then just keep on trucking. And whether that means we go somewhere else for a week, or we work during the day and drive a little bit at night and work on towards our next spot, may do that too. Haven't figured that out yet. So the first year was winging it, and now we're winging it again. I'm not sure what river we're on. Angela might. You guys know how we like to find these obscure things to do. And that's exactly what we're doing today, is some obscurity. I wasn't expecting to have to paddle.
We have not had to paddle any. This river is flowing.
Yeah, it's kind of doing its own thing. So, essentially, you come down here. We parked the truck in the camper after the little debacle with the campground situation, which we're going to end up not staying there. We're going to move on down the road tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But they shuttle you down here to a river, and they put you in this great big cattle trough bathtub, and they just kind of turn you loose. And they're like, you're going to come to a bridge, and it's going to be your halfway point, and you're gonna come to another bridge and you're gonna see some tunnels, and then I'll be there waiting for you. But it's kind of like bumper cars on the water.
We are in the sand hills of Nebraska. There's rolling hills everywhere. It's actually really pretty. What we're doing right now is called tanking. There's a few select places throughout Nebraska that you can do it, but this is a very Nebraska thing to do. And we said, yeah, we're gonna go try that. I'm all about this free flowing where we're not having to paddle and canoe, and so we hate to have our videos be all doom and gloom and gripey and whiny. The reality is we have our process and our structure, and sometimes there's a little bit of a wrench that gets thrown in that, and it's frustrating. But it turns out there was a very innocent reason for the mix-up with the person that we scheduled with, and they worked with us, and it turned out okay. There's much worse things in this world. And right now, we're gonna be floating down the river for at least a couple hours. Very low-key. He basically said, take your time, stop where you want. These tanks are huge.
Yeah.
You get the tank to yourself. This isn't a group thing.
But I think you can put multiple people.
You buy by the person, and I think
$30 a person.
I believe it's 8 people is your max that you can fit in here, but you can bring coolers, you can bring chairs, you can put anything in here, and he said the risk of us tipping it is very, very low. This is actually something just hopped in that water. This is a very low river, so
He said if we tipped it over, we would be the first.
If you tipped it over, for some reason you find yourself in the river, you stand up. So we're just gonna kind of shut this off, relax, reset, and don't let this discourage you from trying this, because we think this is kind of a unique and cool thing to try.
Indubitably.
The weather turned out pretty nice for this.
Yeah, it is nice. There's some, I'm a little nervous because there's some pretty big thunderstorms popping up west of us. Looking at the future radar, I think we'll get back to the trailer before it kicks off, but we got a dry bag, so at least there's that. I've been wet before. Not too worried about it.
Now we're gonna have to navigate this turn here.
We are.
I don't think we're gonna be able to without. Oh, nice.
I think it actually turns pretty easy.
Woo!
Better than a
Nice
canoe.
work.
Well, I may not have done that nice of work. Oh, oh.
Oh, that hurt. Oh.
Battle, 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 battle. You know, this doesn't really happen when we're just out on the boat.
I believe that's why he said this was an adventure.
That it is.
Here in the Sand Hills area, it's the largest, most intricate wetland ecosystem in the U.S. So the majority of it has never seen a plow. About 85% of the Sand Hills region is intact in its natural habitat.
That's cool. Hang on, I'm gonna push this out.
I'm gonna spin us. Oh, goodness. Teamwork.
Teamwork.
GLIDDEN canoe rentals here in Mullen, Nebraska. There are a few other locations throughout Nebraska. So if you go to Nebraska, look up tanking. Ah! Oh, that one hurt.
Glad we didn't have to buy insurance on these. Yeah, don't worry about a thing. Just run into everything, and occasionally you have to push yourself off with the paddle, but I think we figured out if we just sit here long enough, eventually it'll do its thing.
Just kick back and relax. Mom, Dad, this is what you're missing out on.
Yeah, they were supposed to be here for this.
Who does it more redneck? Nebraska or Arkansas?
I just keep watching those clouds in the distance thinking, are we going to get rained on?
We thought that it would be roasting inside of here though, and this isn't hot at all. They kept them in the shade and it's on the water.
Well, the bottom's cold.
I mean, maybe other parts of the summer that the sides could get hot, but this is surprisingly cool, so it's comfortable.
I bet if you were down here in 100-degree weather, you'd be steaming.
Maybe you're not. Our only concern in the world is that is gaining on us a little faster than what we thought our tank would be going. We expected to hit that bridge a little sooner. So
yeah,
now
we're based on the bridge and what he said, we're about 20 minutes behind schedule, it seems like. But I mean, I think the rain will hold out for a little while. I'm just a little more worried. We left the RV back at the office there with the windows open and stuff, so if it rains we're gonna have water inside, but fingers crossed. We did see a couple of wild turkey, a couple of beaver, lots of birds, lots of real pretty songbirds. It's been a nice peaceful afternoon.
They're following us.
They are.
Stormy, you're home. Thanks to Sandhill Motel for helping us out of a jam that wasn't their jam. They allowed us to stay here in this nice little shady area, so the dogs stayed really comfortable.
Yeah.
We didn't even disconnect because we were shuttled around, enjoyed a nice float, and now we're on the road again. Unexpectedly.
Unexpectedly.
That's a crazy tall cell.
It's a big storm cloud. Well, we looked at it and there's no tornado warnings or anything in it. There's a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings out there. We didn't plan on traveling any farther today. We were going to stay here for a few days. That didn't work out. So we're headed to, what's the name of that place?
Ogalala?
We're headed to Ogallala, Nebraska. That's a fun name to say.
Ogalala.
But we're going to have to do a little storm chasing in the meantime.
So I'm thinking as we come south, we're coming straight south, this is where we're going to intersect in an hour and go that way.
So about the time we get on Interstate 80, it's going to get rough.
It's going to get really rainy, but it's also going to start breaking apart about the time we pass through. So I'm thinking all we're going to deal with is some heavy rain, and it's a bigger city, so maybe there's somewhere we can pull into and wait it out, let it break up around us.
That's the bad thing out here, and in a lot of places, these state highways, if you ran into something nasty, you really don't have anywhere to stop. I mean, I guess we just pull over on the side of the road and wait it out.
That is dumping some rain.
Yeah, over to the right of us, it's just a wall of rain, which conveniently is where we're about to turn.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a radar back up. That's hail.
Is it hail?
Can we pull in here?
Yeah.
So we're in the worst of it. It didn't break apart like we thought it might. I think sitting it out is gonna be our best bet.
Yeah, just wait this one out for a minute.
We started our day at 8. It is 7:30, and
Breaking all of our own rules about not checking in at night. And really, I thought I was going to get to the campground before dark, but with us having to wait out this rain delay.
don't let it fool you.
And somebody's nervous. She doesn't like storms.
Yeah.
All the power's out here. Gas station, hardware store, everything's out but the stoplights.
This has been a day. All right, let's see where
It's been a long day.
It has been a very long day. So we're gonna keep going around. And we're back here.
Oh. It's easy. So our 4-hour drive day, turned into over a 7-hour drive day and about 400 miles.
Turn right on unpaved road, then take the first left.
We're here, Garmin.
Well, it has turned into a 12.5-hour travel day altogether.
Yeah.
But we're here.
We're here, we're safe.
We're safe.
Beat the storms. Be lying if I said that I wasn't exhausted, because I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, it's been a long day. This is not where we intended to close a video, but I think we're gonna close this one out. See you guys on the next one and see what
Ogallala, Nebraska. And you guys will be just as surprised as we are because we have no idea what we're gonna do here.
We'll see you then. That's what happens when you tie your dog out for 4 hours in the morning. It's crazy. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. When we're in South Dakota.
Never.
Ever. I don't know what's going on back there, but it definitely has something flowing into it. It's warm.
Nuclear runoff.
We're gonna start our day here in Hot Springs, South Dakota.
It's actually the city of Hot Springs, South Dakota. Right.
Did I not say that?
I didn't think so.
Oh.
And hopefully you all noticed the bug that's been on Angela's forehead.
Oh, well, good.